All right, nobody is coming to save your family. Now, I almost didn't make this video because I would have been more comfortable to be sleeping in my bed right now. But there's something on my mind. I just think we should talk about. Now, we all want to get rich. We want to have the money. We all want to see the success. But most of us don't want to put in the work. I can say myself included. I would much rather just get the money handed to me than rather put in the work. But that's not how life's gonna work. So what I went over so far is my family history, right? In my family, there's never been somebody that's been super rich. We might have been like hood rich, you could say, but never you could say super wealthy, giant houses, giant cars. It's never been anything like that where we've had financial freedom without having to worry about any kind of bills. And a lot of you guys might be in the same situation as well. Your family has some money, but never that situation where it feels like, oh, we don't have to worry about these bills right now. Oh, you can just buy that without looking at the price. No, most of us don't have that, me and myself included. I want to reach that wealth where we can just buy things without looking at the tag, right? We don't have this constant threat of having to pay for bills, such as going to college. We don't have to look over ourselves with debt on our shoulders that we know we're going to have to pay back in the future. We want to have financial freedom. And you really have to think about this. Nobody's coming to save you or your family. Nobody's going to do it for your family but you. Other people really don't care what's going on with your family. Emily, they're worried about themselves. They're worried about how they're going to achieve, how they're going to get their family right, not yours. So it's really up to you if you want to put in that work. So let's say you're scrolling on IG and Instagram all day instead of actually trying to learn a valuable skill that you can use in the future. Now, I can't act like I haven't done that, as that's also something I've been doing a lot in the past that I'm trying to get better at. Right now, I'm trying to learn a couple profitable skills that I can use in the future, right? Because my I know my family supports me and they want to see what's best for me, right? But what's the point of that support if I'm just in my room, just bed rotting, watching reels all day? Exactly. It doesn't mean anything if you're not gonna sit in there and willing to put the work. Your family is supporting you. Sometimes they might be betting everything on you. So are you really gonna waste their time, waste the money that they put into you to have nice things, or just support you growing up? Are you gonna waste their time, and create a future for yourself where you're just working some regular job? You're in the same exact position they were. But the thing is, our parents, they raised us to be better than them. They don't want us to be just like them. They want us to be a better person than they are. And I believe that's how most parents act or believe and raise you guys. But it's different for everybody's situation. Now, there's something about our generation though, right? That's like completely different from theirs. That is the internet. We have a lot of different resources that they didn't have in the future, right? The first resource we obviously have to talk about is AI. With AI, you can kind of do anything, you kind of learn anything, like simply building a website, something that used to take people months, hours. They can simply hop on Claude Code, build a website in 2 seconds, Google Studios, Gemini. They can do all this stuff in 2 seconds that used to take people years to do, I mean. And you can also learn subjects that people didn't have access to back then, like personal finance. That's so widely available, more so than it was in the past, because now you can just look up real quick, how do I manage my finances throughout my 20s, how do I invest. You can learn about stocks, how to make money passively without having to do much but just put money in monthly. You can see how things actually compound instead of having to go to school and study for it for a very long time. You can learn a lot of things just by looking them up, not having to go out your way to go to the library, actually read the book for hours. No, you have everything at the palm of your hands. You have online courses that teach you things that people didn't know. Like now you can access Harvard courses just by looking them up online a little bit. Like Harvard CS50 course, there's public speaking. There's a lot of lectures coming from these top tier universities that are now free online for us to use. And we also have to talk about reading, right? Just reading books normally. I'd say, like I was talking about the social media part, well, not social media, but the internet in general. We have all these things though, easy access resources, that we kind of forget about these readings. Like these books teach us 100 years of knowledge. Why would you rather scroll on your phone and watch a 50-second reel that you're gonna forget about instead of actually reading a valuable piece of literature that will give you some advice? or teach you a lesson that you can take through the rest of your life. It's as simple as that. Now, the last part is you think about the future you want. Because I know if you're probably watching this video throughout so far, you want financial freedom as well. And I do too. So why aren't we going to take these actionable steps? Why aren't we actually going to try to get where we want to be? And you think you want a good house, you want a lot of money, you want freedom. You don't want to have your time managed by another person. You don't want that person to be like, oh, you can only go out on this day because you have work. You want to have that time to do whatever you want while also making money. Like you said, we might see our parents with a lot of stress. We might see our friends with a lot of stress going on, and we don't like that. We want to have a better future for ourselves and them. And the way to do that is to just build these valuable skills, play the game smart, not just, go out, party every week, drink every week. We actually want to work on a better self. That's why I say read these books and build these profitable skills. Cause why? Well, it doesn't show right now. All those results will eventually compound over and over again. The readings, I gain more knowledge every day. Working out, I'll get leaner, I'll get bigger, I'll get stronger. And it'll just, things will continue to compound. I talked about this in my very first video, the compounding mental model. We're taking these actionable steps every single day, and every day that makes it a better result, right? So that's really the whole point. We don't want to sit here and just laze around, because at the end of the day, nobody's coming to save you. It may be a cliche line, but it couldn't be any more true. That it's really up to us if we want to get our family in a better situation, if we want to be out there, and if we want something better for ourselves. It's up to us to do it. All right.